Sonic has been through a lot of games of divisive quality, and media that has less divisive quality, but today I'm not gonna do any of that. I just want to go through Sonic 1 and show my views on it. But I'm gonna try something different from my Game Gear review. I want to review the game, but you won't understand my review. So welcome to some Sonic 1 review on the internet. Sonic 1 was unsurprisingly made during the 90s, where Sonic Team took inspiration from the ongoing We're Druggies vs. Blandies franchising company from SpongeBob battle. One that is still ongoing today, as the Druggies are too chill to make an attack, and the Blandies are only capable of status ailments. Sonic 1 shows this by the amount of detail in its worlds. The stages throw tons of secrets in them, like Ghost Spring Zone tells you to cope with the fact the city treats its people like dang pinball balls. This detail implies the inhabitants of South Island don't mind this bouncing, and likely have biological advances to adapt to these borderline attacks on their skulls. It doesn't make sense considering how bouncing is your main action in the game though. You bounce on springs, on balls, on magnets, bouncing till you get around this world. You could say, his world. But in seriousness, all this bouncing is the showcase for Sonic 1's momentum system, its big claim to fame. Being used in different ways in each zone, from reaching higher areas in Green Hill, via rolling down a hill and then jumping to launch yourself, or you might just be in a stage that uses the timing of jump to skip annoying puzzles. Sometimes it isn't used at all. Somehow, a surprise to Sonic fans, momentum has varying uses and don't just serve on a way to dunk on some games from other decades. People say how Green Hill is where the game stage is peaking for me, but I see it as a shame to not recognize the multiple other levels. Do you go on a spinny thing in Green Hill? Trick question, I played the game. The answer is no. Since we're talking about unique level design, the special stages are the pinnacle of uniqueness. Being talking about how much of a trip they are. I mean, trippiness is a hippie superpower. It makes sense if that's the market Sega want to attract, and it makes them the great locale for the game's MacGuffins, chaos and warts. The stages challenge you to roll through bright hallways or rooms if they want to be edgy. Collect emeralds that Eggman can obtain without ever going through them because you never give them. I guess he wasn't a big fan of that nose flower aesthetic. Speaking of the Doctor, let's get to talking about him and his schemes to crush the Blue Rat. The creature is seemingly a surprise to him, as none of his weapons directly attack the Blue Rat, or at least not intentionally, the only ones doing so being his first and final schemes to defeat him. The other ones include dropping fire on the platforms the Blue Rat lies on, removing platforms for the Blue Rats to run away from, dropping spike balls on swingy, weird panel things in an attempt to scare the Blue Rat, and just running. You know, all this makes me ask, is he actually trying to destroy Sonic? Like, is there a chance that Eggman isn't the bad guy, but more so this is a result of urbanization and the disruption of the middle class? And like, there isn't time for that. I don't have the brain capacity to go into topics like that. I'm talking about Sonic games. That was some review of Sonic 1, where I think I see what makes him so popular. Sonic is a one-of-a-kind series. There's nothing with as much history in games, movies, toys, and comics, and just so much interesting things going on. Whether it's Sega screwing over the franchise, or the fans burning the franchise. there's such a strange thing to talk about that people can joke about straight up feet pics, and it won't be entertaining for at least 6 minutes.